My relationship with pain has evolved tremendously over the years, and I thank God for that, because I used to have such an immense fear of any sort of pain, and in so doing you create anxiety over the thought of any sort of situation that might create pain in your life. And in so doing, you therefore create more pain in your life. It's such a paradox, but whatever you focus your attention on is what you attract more of. So like that age-old saying of like, don't think of a purple elephant. What do you immediately think of? A purple elephant. It's inevitable. Whatever you are thinking of, whatever you are focusing on, you attract more of that thing, whether you want it or you don't want it. It doesn't matter. The universe doesn't care whether or not you want it or you don't. The fact is, you've given it your attention, and therefore it will come into fruition. So if I sit here and think, I so desperately do not want this thing to happen. Please don't happen, please don't happen. I'm putting so much thought power, so much mental energy into this thing that it can do nothing but happen. And this is the power of manifestation. This is how it works. If you think on it, it will become true. And so I used to have all of this anxiety, right, over bad things, and just hoping and praying that bad things wouldn't happen to me. But the more that I focused on it, the more that it would happen. And because I held like such this negative connotation with pain, being so afraid of it, being so afraid of things that I didn't like, of things that caused me suffering, I brought in so much suffering. And that's not to say that I don't suffer now, because I do. But I think that like flipping your perspective on it, I have such like a different view on it now. So like when pain comes into my life, rather than like fearing it, thinking of it as this thing I don't want, it's like this whole other, it has like this whole other meaning, because I think because I allowed myself to suffer so much, because I brought so much suffering to myself, I had no choice but to deal with it. And when you have nothing but time to conquer your own suffering, your own pain, you learn so much. You learn how to get through it. And what's on the other side of pain is beauty, is accomplishment. It's sort of like climbing a mountain. So like it's not easy. It's quite difficult. And to some it might feel like suffering. It's a struggle. But you struggle and you struggle and you struggle and you endure the pain of your muscles until you finally get to the peak. And you have the most beautiful view, a perspective that you never could have had you stayed at the bottom. A perspective that not everybody gets to enjoy, because not everyone is willing to conquer the suffering that it takes to get there. Most of us would rather just circle the bottom and continue to struggle, because struggling can become comfortable. You think that, oh, I don't want to go that high. I don't want to getting to the peak, that looks too hard. Let's just keep going round and round. But when you continue with that first level of pain, it just hurts and hurts and hurts, and you never get anywhere. You just continue the loop of pain for no reason. And that's what I was doing until I finally decided to climb up higher. And the higher you get, the better your perspective gets, the clearer your vision becomes, because you're no longer looking like so focused on what's right in front of you. You're getting like a wider perspective on things. You're widening your focus into things that are much more important than the immediate problem that's right here at your feet. And you can see the greater purpose of things. So I don't think that there is like one peak. I don't think there's ever a point that we're going to reach at which there is no more pain. I think that it's an endless mountain. Life is like this unending trek. But think about the last time that maybe something really difficult happened to you. Something that you really didn't want to happen happened anyways. And you had to work through it. You had to figure it out. And how it felt after. Behind all struggle, at the end of it, is a higher high. Is a high that you couldn't have anticipated, that you couldn't have ever experienced without going through the pain. It's sort of like when you hear about like music artists, like most musical artists that are very, very talented, they struggle a lot. They have a lot of pain, and you can hear that come through in their music. But it makes it so good because it feels real. It feels relatable. It feels like it gives them something to create with. And oftentimes artists will say that when they're in pain, they create their very best work. But when things are good, it's like nothing comes to them. They have no inspiration. They have nothing to give. We live in a perfectly balanced universe in which there's a perfect balance of good and bad, yin and yang, masculine, feminine. It's a perfect balance of two opposites, two opposing forces, positive and negative, different poles of a magnet. And it has to keep this perfect balance. So there is no beauty without pain. There is no ease without struggle. You have to have one in order to have the other. And having those difficult times are what allows us to create. It allows us to utilize the power that we have as alchemists to transmute one energy to another. And that is the beauty of what we are. We are alchemists. We turn the pain into something, we create it into something new. If everything's perfect, what is there to create? There's nothing to change. There's nothing to do. And even though we can know this, the pain will still hurt. We'll still have those knee-jerk reactions when bad things happen. When someone upsets us, we'll be angry, When something devastating happens, we'll be sad, but I think that the more we practice this understanding, the easier it gets, because I've noticed that the more and more that I work on this, the next hardship that comes up, it always hurts. But instead of just focusing on the hardship itself, I instead feel see the light at the end of the tunnel. You see, even when I feel like I can't do it, like I feel God around me, holding me and supporting me and letting me know that there is more than this. And that this is the key to creation of something more. So I hope that the next time something you wish didn't happen happens anyways. Maybe you can think about this. And I hope that it brings you some sort of light at the end of the tunnel, some sort of motivation to create, to become that alchemist within yourself. Because we all have the power. I love you. Thank you.